Good morning, everyone. Welcome into this 5 minute morning devotion, Wednesday edition. I'm so delighted you chose to join me today, and I pray that this episode is a blessing to you. Now, we're going to continue reading through the book of Psalms, and we are going to pick back up in Psalms chapter 18. Now, yesterday we started reading Psalms 18, and we read verses 1 through 6. Today, we are going to pick up at verse 7, and we're going to read through verse 15. Now, verses 7 through 15 is a response to David's prayer in verses 1 through 6. So, let's read it together. The earth reeled and rocked. The foundations also of the mountains trembled and quaked because he was angry. Smoke went up from his nostrils and devouring fire from his mouth. Glowing coals of flame forth from him. He bowed the heavens and came down. Thick darkness was under his feet. He rode on the cherub and flew. He came swiftly to the wings of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his canopy around him, thick clouds of dark with waters. Out of the brightness before him, hailstones and coals of fire broke through his cloud. The Lord also thundered in the heavens, and the Most High uttered his voice. Hailstones and coals of fire, and he sent out of his arrows and scattered them. He flashed forth the lightnings and routed them. Then the channel of the sea were seen, and the foundations of the world were laid bare at your rebuke, O Lord, at the blast of the breath of your nostrils. Now, David told us in verse 1 through 6 about his prayer to the Lord, and he admonished the Lord for the different things that the Lord represented in his life. A foundation, a strong tower, a refuge, all these different things. And because of that prayer to the Lord and recognizing who the Lord was in his life, the Lord had no choice but to show up for his child. You need to understand today that building relationship with God is important. When you build a relationship with God, you're not only building something that is going to benefit your soul in salvation, but you're also building something and you're creating a relationship with God that is going to sustain you in the process of life until the day of reckoning or the day of salvation, ultimately from this life to heaven. And we're going to face many different seasons and situations in our lives, but the key is building relationship with God benefits us because God becomes our protector. And when we cry out to him, he gets, if you will, gets up off his throne in glory. He stands up, and when God stands up for his child, the enemy better look out. Because in David's case, he began to tell of all the different attributes that meant something to him that represented God acting on his behalf. And all of these different terrible things and frightening things began to happen for the enemy because David cried out to the Lord. Hear me today. If you are a child of God, and you are building a relationship with him, you really are walking with him, God will stand up and he will fight on your behalf. You don't have to worry if God's going to come through. He is going to come through. And the revenge of the Lord is going to be swift and hard upon your enemy. Take courage today because God is standing up for you.